Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to NLIGHTiN. Check it out.
All right.
Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I am talking to NLIGHTiN. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Blessed to be here, man.
Awesome. It's so cool to have you on here, and thank you so much for being on the show. I gotta tell you, I wasn't aware of your music until your management reached out and said, "Hey, would you be interested in talking to NLIGHTiN?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so then I went and checked it out, and I'm so glad you guys got in touch because I was very intrigued with the album I think came out maybe last year or
Yeah,
beginning of
last
this year,
November.
War with Myself. And then
Yes,
you've got
sir.
you got a video coming out, or it is out, right? I'll Hold On.
I'll hold on. Yep, the video's
Yeah,
out now.
fantastic, man. So why don't we start off with that song? Can you tell me the story behind that?
Yeah. So the whole concept around War with Myself, I'm sure as you've picked up, it focuses very heavily on topics of mental health and depression. And so I needed a song that kind of spoke to everybody in a census of like that kind of unifies everybody who's going through that together. So
Yeah,
this is kind of an anthem for like when you're feeling down personally, just think I'll hold on, like you can hold on. That's kind of something that brings the audience together and kind of unifies it as one. Because what I say in that song, like a lot of people do feel like
yeah,
I've gotten a lot of people saying what you said in that song is literally how it is, how depression can be.
yeah,
So that second verse, I was mainly talking to just the audience in general, just everybody who feels like I do. You know, we're not alone as much as we want to feel alone.
yeah,
As much as you feel alone, we're not. There's other
yeah,
people that feel like you do, and I feel like that's important to kind of bring that to people's minds.
yeah. And I thought both the video and just listening to the lyrics, I thought it really connected as far as like, especially, and I can't remember the exact line, but you talk about like being like closed and just you know of like a just like a closed face, but
I,
inside there's turmoil. And
yeah,
I can totally identify with that. And I can imagine like people that are suffering, you just kind of put up a wall and you say, this is me and this is the face you see, but it's not the real person. It's not really what's going on.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, people who struggle with it have to work twice as hard to maintain a sense of balance and happiness. So that person maybe all smiles on the outside, but inside he's could be going through hell. You never know. It always be the ones that you don't expect going through that kind of have the worst struggles sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the video, like, how did you come up with that concept for that? Because I love it when you are talking in the mirror, and you're standing there.
Yeah,
That's a cool
uh,
way to start it.
I had that concept actually from the moment I recorded the song in the studio. I already had an idea of that. And shout out to Urban Visuals who made that come to life. Very talented from Detroit. Check him out if you haven't yet. But I told him what I wanted as far as the splicing of the mirror shot
Yeah.
and everything. He made it look so crispy, and I'm in love with the video. I'm not gonna lie.
That's awesome. And I saw somebody else did like a lyric video for that too, which I think is cool too.
Yeah, this guy picked up on me. His name's JJ. He does lyric videos for mostly big rappers, like bigger than me, of course. So it was a honor to see him find my music and like I got to make a lyric video for that. I've never had that before. I've never had anyone kind of take that kind of initiative to my music, so that was cool
Yeah.
to see. And it's just another way to get that song out into the masses. So he appreciate him. Shout out JJ.
Yeah, for sure. So, in the album, I mean, as you mentioned, like with the song "I'll Hold On," pretty much the rest of the album focuses on like those issues of mental health. I think it's really uplifting that you like each of those songs. I mean, you could have like just been, I don't know, uh, wallowing in those emotions, but instead you kind of flip it around to showcase it, but then also kind of give, I don't know, there's messages of hope in there. So
Yeah, there
was that your goal? I mean, to set out to kind of help uplift people?
it was because I wish someone would have done that for me when I was going through my struggles, and it wasn't easy. going through what I went through and
Yeah.
feeling alone in the process. So that's really what I did it for. I wanted to let people know that they're not alone and there's other alternatives than just giving up.
Yeah. So I know that "I'll Hold On" is that kind of first single that you've done a video for. But for you on the album, what's your most favorite track?
My most favorite track, I would have to say it's the final track of the album, War with Myself, the self-titled track.
Yeah.
It's basically my story in a song in a nutshell, kind of what motivates me to do what I do. That's how I end it. From my friends, my inner circles, my best friends who got me through everything, my day ones, my family, my struggles, everything that kind of just made me what I am today. I showcased on that song. War with Myself is I'm in love with it. But it's kind of hard to choose though because there's so many different vibes. Like I
Yeah.
do touch on the mental health stuff a lot, but there's also fun tracks on the album, or there's
Yeah.
just songs where I just want to snap and just go hard. There's a bunch of different stuff on the album, but the main focus is definitely mental health.
Very cool. Very cool. So what's your songwriting process like? I mean, where do you get your inspiration? Is it, I mean, I obviously part of it, well, a lot of it's emotional, but like you said, I want to snap. That's another tune that's like not necessarily about mental health. So w- what is the songwriting process like for you? How do you come up with those ideas and then flesh them out?
Usually I have a batch of producers that I like to use for my beats and stuff. And usually they'll send me stuff
Uh-huh.
and I'll just click through them and depends on my mood really. Whatever my mood is at the time, whatever I want to get off my chest, I try to fit the vibe of whatever beat I'm about to write because I like to when I write, I like it to just come out as naturally as possible, like flow out like water. I don't like having that brain fog.
Yeah.
I don't like the brain fog. I don't like being stuck. That obviously means like the beat wasn't meant for you. I want something that'll make me pour out everything right there on the spot. So that's
Wow.
usually what I look for. Whatever matches my vibe at the time, I will always have a topic to write around it because life's always changing for me.
For sure. For sure. So no, do you have like ideas for songs that you just haven't found the right, the right beat to go with it?
Oh yes, I have. I have concept songs are like one of those things that where you wrap in the perspective of like a news topic or like those songs are kind of hard to just do because you need the perfect beat to go behind it and I feel like you need a producer to make the beat as you're doing something like that because if it's just looping over and over it's going to sound uninspired. If I'm making a concept song in the perspective of something else,
Yeah.
I, man, I'm very picky about stuff like that. I'm a perfectionist and it's unfortunate.
Well, you got to be though sometimes because you want to showcase like all aspects of it, right? And so
No, for sure. For sure. I take pride in my work for sure.
awesome. So when did you get start? When did you get started and how? Like what were your influences early on?
Uh, okay, funny story. So I first wrote my first song. This is back in the day, 2000, early 2000s. We all remember the Eminem takeover, the Shady takeover, the G Unit 50 Cent takeover, all that. When
Right.
all that was going on, I was in my infancy, basically, like 4, 5, 6. A friend flipped me an Eminem CD, and that's literally all it took. I was in love. So I got in trouble writing my first song at like 7 or 8. I had a little school desk in my room, and I'd be writing songs at an early age. My uncle, we had a family party. My uncle saw what I was writing, the lyrics I was writing. It was basically like Eminem inspired, like F this, F that, whatever.
Right.
Like, what the hell are you writing? uh, but they didn't hear how I rapped it. Like I always had made my own little rap songs and tried to perfect the flow for a while. Even fell out of hip hop for a little bit because I just Soldier Boy came about and
Yeah,
all like the pop stuff started coming about, so it didn't really get to me as much. I picked it back up in like high school, and ever since then I've been just writing songs and perfecting my craft, and now I'm taking it somewhere. It's crazy.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I know. Yeah, I've always been a songwriter though. Throughout it all, like I've always written poetry, songs. I just write.
So do you keep a book with you to like as inspiration strikes so you can just write things down? How do you capture all that?
I do keep a book. I'm not the type to use a phone really. I can't. I'm old fashioned. I write it out, and yeah, that's basically it. I have whole notebooks stuffed full of pages and like a folder stuff full of ripped out pages that I've used, and I have a whole manifesto of lyrics. Believe it or not.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
I write. I just write. I just like writing old fashioned pen, scribble pen.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, there's something about like pen and paper every once in a while when if you're
It's a
writing.
very interesting process for sure. Just scribbling and jotting, and it's beautiful to me. That's how I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah, definitely because that's something I always was intrigued by is like the just the volume of things that certain rappers like collect, in terms of their writing. I mean, it's all over the map. They're not necessarily always raps. They're like he's mentioned poems, stories, all kinds of
Yeah.
shit.
Anything, and you can literally like pour the contents of your brain out on this piece of paper and have it make sense. It's a beautiful thing to me.
Yeah, for sure. So now, you got the album out, you got this video, um, and you just did Alley Fest in Flint. So how was that?
Oh, that was fun. It rained, but rain or shine, I did my thing, and it was cool. It was I never played any kind of downtown festival like that before, so that was an experience for sure.
Very cool. And so,
The food was oof,
oh yeah,
amazing food. They got amazing food vendors down there.
nice. What'd you have that you really enjoyed?
The smoothie, there was a smoothie truck, and it was I don't know what she did to these smoothies, man, but they were on point, and it's so perfect. She put definitely some love in those smoothies for sure.
Awesome. Excellent. So what else is going on as far as with you and live shows? Because I know Alley Fest, but anything coming up that you're gonna do?
I actually had an offer today. Let me see if what's the name of Grand Rapids? I got offered to play a festival today. I think it's called Peace Fest or One Love Fest. Let me
Okay.
see. But it's going to be happening on August. It's called One Piece Hip Hop Festival in Grand Rapids. It's happening in Artists, and yeah, I submitted my artist page to them. So good luck to me, hopefully.
Excellent.
That'll be
Excellent.
coming up. Yeah. Shout out David, my manager. He's been helping me get a lot of booking too. So we're gonna be cooking up a lot. There's a lot of new announcements in the works right now, but One Piece Hip Hop Festival is definitely going to be on the agenda next.
Very cool. So, is there new music on the way?
Yes, sir. I actually have a single releasing July 13th on Spotify. It is set to release July 13th, or July 12th at midnight, however you want to say it. Called Another High, and it's really just vintage me. And I got another one after that set to release, and that song is going to be crazy. And I can't give too much away about that yet, but
So tell
it
me about Another High. How did that song come about, and where was it recorded?
it was recorded at my usual studio place, recorded at Rockstar Studios in on Flushing Road in Flint or around it's Flint Township, Flushing
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, I run the studio out every time I go to do music there. And the process came about, the song came about. Uh, I feel like I was just like going in my transformation mode, like I was going from one chapter of my life to the next.
Yeah.
And I was writing about it. And then one of my producers, he's actually from India, actually, sent me this beat, and it was perfect. It literally couldn't have came at a better time.
Awesome.
And he puts a lot of love in his beats too. Like they're not just loops. He fills them out and spaces them out and puts character to them. So that's what I like about that. So when I heard that beat, I was like, I gotta do this. Like I can't not do this. It couldn't have hit me at a better time. So yeah, Another High is about really just me going into my new chapter of life, happier and healthier, and kind of looking back on what it took to get here.
Cool. Excellent, man. So if you could play anywhere in the world, where would that be, and who would you like to be on stage with?
I want to play at Rolling Loud. I would like the privilege to play at Rolling Loud with all of the hottest hip hop artists that are out at the time. That festival is my dream to play, hands down. Rolling Loud, just to
Yes.
be at the mecca of what's happening in rap right now.
Yeah.
To play with artists like maybe like Ski Mask or Travis Scott, cool people like that. Really,
Yeah.
I just want to be where it's popping at, and I hope to get there someday.
That'll be cool. That would be cool, man. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I think
Rolling
your
Loud
music.
is like kind of like the what rappers aspire to really play at once they get to a pinnacle of their success. Rolling
Yeah.
Loud's kind of like the celebration of that.
Awesome. So who you mentioned Eminem, but were there other rappers that were like highly influential or other musicians that were really influential when you were getting going?
Yeah, definitely Tupac. Uh,
Nice.
Tupac just kind of lit that fire in me as an artist and as a person, really,
Yeah.
to kind of make me more conscious about what I say in my songs. Uh, who else? Shoot, Eminem and Tupac for sure. Nipsey Hussle was a big one. 50 Cent for how like he basically just took over the whole rap game in a matter of a year. To this day, he has one of the biggest albums of all time. Like, still, no one has done that. That's about it. M50 Tupac. That's like my trifecta right there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Of what I was influenced by as a young and grown up.
So if you
I
could
kind of
go ahead.
go ahead. I was saying I was kind of changing with the times. Like I always find new inspirations, even to this day. That kind of to this day, King ISO. I say he's a rapper I ride with really heavy. He's definitely an inspiration to this day.
That's cool because it's uh I find that sometimes, you know, either fans or musicians kind of get locked in and they stick with, you know, what they know as opposed to like branching out and checking out other artists. So that's really cool that you're, you know, keeping an eye out for other things that are on the horizon.
Oh, you got that's how you grow with the culture, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, what was I going to ask you? Oh, um, as far as like, you know, sort of your backstory, where where do you think, you know, um, your drive to have that kind of positive message in your music came from?
Um, well, I was just at a really bad point in my life. I was messing up. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was messing up in life, not making good choices, gang banging, doing drugs, doing all the wrong things because I was just low as a person. Like I was just insecure, depressed, was self-destructing basically. And it eventually led to a suicide attempt
Oh
that
shit.
thankfully I survived, or I wouldn't be here right now. And I think ever since I survived that, it took a little bit after that for me to realize, but one day it just clicked. Like I need to do something. I need to do something better, and I need to help others in this. So I kind of just didn't take my second chance for granted. Like I lit the fire right there, and
That's awesome.
unfortunately, life still hit some roadblocks after that. I lost my mom. That was a big one. So I really think after that, that's when I took it into 100% full throttle
Man, that's
because I
crazy.
realized it was more than about me. It
Yeah.
was more about the music. It was about something way bigger than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you could, you know, sit down with anybody, and they can be alive or dead, have a share a beverage with them and talk to them, who would that be, and what would you like to talk to them about?
That is a great question. Oh, wow. That's a great question. I guess I would talk to Jay-Z, I think,
Cool. What would you ask
because
him?
I ask him I would ask him what sacrifices he made to get to where he was at. Because I know you don't just become like Jay-Z overnight. You have to, it always comes with a price. So I would ask him, what did you sacrifice to get to where you're at? And what humbles you to this day? What keeps you humbled
Yeah.
despite how successful you are? Like, what do you do to stay humble and to rise above all the media and all that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
He would
he seems
be.
like he would. wisdom. Like he's been through a lot of eras of music and still doing it to this day. So I feel like he would be the one to talk to as far as to get wisdom on culture.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think he's done, like you said, just so many different things. And I mean, I don't know him, but it seems like he would be somebody that'd be totally approachable too. You know, like you could just sit down with them and it would be totally cool about answering any questions and talk with somebody.
Yeah, for sure. And even if he was like, piss off, go away, I ain't trying to talk to you right now. Oh damn, Jay-Z told me to piss off. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I'm sure he would, but like it would be a perfect to even get that because shout out Jay. He's one of the goats for sure.
That's awesome. uh,
I don't think he do that though.
no. Yeah. So kind of getting back into your like your history and your backstory. What was the very first show you ever went to?
It was a Beach Boys show actually.
Awesome.
I was like 5 or 6, and John Stamos was the guest drummer.
John Stamos. Really?
John was the guest drummer, and let me tell you, as a young child, I should have never been exposed to so many topless women in the crowd that I was. Once they knew John Stamos was the drummer, everything was flying. Beach balls, paws, everything. Yeah, that was a fun, good first show. I
Oh
was
man.
like, I knew from that moment I want to be like him. That was a cool show though. That was definitely an experience.
Awesome. So do you remember your very first time on stage? What was that like for you and what did you take away from it that you kind of still, you know, incorporate today?
My first time on stage it was a small bar. I mean, it was humble small bar that played, it was either Detroit. I had to go all the way to Detroit from Grand Rapids, or it was in White Cloud. Either way, it was a drive. It was just a little bar, and we had to drive through a snowstorm, blizzard, literally blizzard. Couldn't see. Had to make it an hour out. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I think I did good. The people I was rapping with at the time, they were newbies. They were just starting to. So I mean, we are kind of just having fun with it. My first big show, I can say, was at this venue in Grand Rapids, one of the big ones called the Intersection,
Oh yeah, I love
and
that place.
I sold tickets to book myself there and play there, and that was an amazing experience
Excellent.
because I did good for first off, and second off, all my friends were there, and third off, all the other crowd that was there, they kind of left after my set was done. Like, I felt bad for the headliners because like I didn't want to do that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I turned up so hard that the crowd, I think that was just it for them.
They were like,
That's what
fuck it.
I wanted to do.
Yeah, I've seen what I need to see.
Kind of, and that's what I didn't want to do that, but at the same time, I did want to leave my mark because at my shows, I want to leave a mark, and that's
Yeah,
what I go there to. I don't want to give them no half-ass like experience.
yeah, yeah. So what do you do to try to get ready for your show? What do you have any like kind of pre-show rituals, things you need to do to before you get on stage to do your best?
I keep the water close. Um, I might take like 5 minutes to myself to kind of get my thoughts together, go over my words in my head, and kind of just sit, meditate,
Uh,
clear my thoughts, not nervous. But really, I kind of just ride the momentum that I have, the energy. Because I'm so excited to play. Every time I play a show, I'm excited. Like
yeah.
I'm like, all right, can we just do this already? I'm so ready to go on stage. Let's do this.
Right.
Person's gonna be fun. So I get myself antsy, but I kind of just have to tell myself to calm down, go over your lines in your head. I kind of just take some time to myself. Really, that's all it is. I mean, you can't turn back now. You're locked in. These people know, so you got to be positive about it. I
Right.
drink some water and pray. Let like God let it be a good one.
Oh man. Uh, so so what's a show you've seen recently that you really enjoyed?
Incubus.
Oh, cool, awesome. Where was that?
Uh, Incubus is a rock band. They've been around since like the 90s, I think. They kind of when the whole new metal thing was happening, but they're a funky band.
Yeah.
Incubus. They, uh, you know that song, "Whatever
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow
Oh yeah.
I'll Be There." Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
That was a great show because that's one of my favorite rock bands of all time.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember last time I saw them. It was a while ago, pre-COVID.
Uh,
when was the show you went to?
it was a year or two ago. It was after
Okay.
COVID
Okay. Cool.
recently, but I'm going to see Little Dirk in his hometown of Chicago in August, so I'm super excited about that. I think that's going to top all of them.
Nice. Nice. So,
I'm excited.
if you were gonna recommend, so thinking of like your music, but then also thinking of things that you listen to on your own, just to relax. Um, what are some artists that you're listening to today that you would recommend to other folks?
Like I said before, definitely King ISO. He's under Tech Nine's Strange Music label, but I've known him when he was just independent. He's also another one who goes hard for the mental health movement. He's also got a story, and you know, this is what he reminds me why we do what we do because it's bigger than just music. So King ISO is definitely one of them. Shoot, Kendrick, of course, Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick.
Yeah.
That's what else? There's a lot of rock artists too. I like Breaking Benjamin. The thing with I'm versatile with my music taste, like super versatile. So I could go from straight thug hip hop to pop punk or alternative or whatever. Alice in Chains, I like a lot. I like a
Cool.
lot of Trippie Redd and XXXTentacion, Ski Mask the Slump God.
Nice.
And it kind of gets me moving, man. I like high energy stuff.
Yeah.
I also like the stuff that like I can meditate to. It's a weird balance. But I either like an extreme of one or extreme of the other.
Right. So what would be something you listen to that might, have somebody going, "What? Enlighten listens to this?"
Oh man, it's got to be Alanis Morissette.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Alanis Morissette, that was hard to me.
That's
She's punk rock as fuck. And I just remember her from childhood as a little toddler. Her music would always be playing on the radio. It's probably the weirdest thing you'll see on my playlist is Alanis. But shout out Alanis, though, you know,
Yeah. Do you have a favorite tune
and
that
she's
she
hardcore.
does?
What I really want, for
Nice.
sure.
Nice.
Her vocals on that song are crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
shout out Alanis. If you see this, I love you.
so we were talking before we got going that um, you lived in Grand Rapids and now you're in Flint. What do you think about the music scene in Flint? How is it? How has it been and how's it been treating you?
Oh man, the music scene in Flint is definitely taking over as far as rap is going. I think people are finally starting to catch on to the whole like techno inspired groove, bouncy, funny rap that Flint does, and
Yeah.
Detroit too. Honestly, if we're being honest, Detroit and Flint both have that sound on lock, that Michigan sound.
Nice.
Which is good and bad. It's good that it's putting Michigan on the map and it's giving Michigan artists sense to grow, but it's also bad in the way that since that is what's taken right now, it's kind of hard for any other sound to really breach through there and be as accessible to people. It depends how people are rocking. I mean, I definitely think Blink definitely has taken over the music scene right now. I'm blessed to be a part of it because a lot of talented artists out there, and I hope that I can share the stage with a lot of them.
Nice. So kind of getting back
Oh, yeah.
into like music you listen to. What's the probably the your most like go-to album? Something you just you're putting on or listening to maybe I don't know once a week.
Hmm. Once a week. Ooh. It would have to be. That is a tough one. Oh, shoot. Once a week. Okay. I would have to say it would have to be my own, I think. I think as far as like whole albums are concerned, I listen to my own and try to see what I can do different on the next one.
Nice, nice.
Other than that, I mean, I go through a lot of stuff. I have my shit on shuffle, so it's always going through a plethora of different. Yeah, so if anybody, back to him again because
Yeah.
he's just.
Awesome. So, when you were talking about like listening to your own music and trying to, think of what you could do better, what have you thought of that you think you'd like to improve on or change um, from what you've been doing?
Um, I think I can definitely pick up the vibe a little bit and start shifting into more happy music, more groovy, bouncy, more good vibe oriented music. Uh, I think more melody. I definitely want to become more melodic, get that melody on lock.
Uh-huh.
Uh, liking singing lately. I'm gonna try testing that out a little more.
Cool.
Really kind of just slowing it down. A lot of my songs on War with Myself are intense, whether the speed is intense or the subject matter is intense.
Yeah.
I would kind of just like to slow it down and kind of have people understand. I want a more peaceful vibe on the future songs, and then I can get into the crazy vibes after that peaceful vibe.
Yeah, I
I
think
love
it.
rapping. Like I love I love going fast. I love rapping on like super droppy songs and I like going in, so to speak. That's what I love doing the most. So I'll have definitely have an album in the future where I just go high intensity on every song.
Yeah, that would be cool. Have you ever thought of like teaming up with another rapper to do things?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's a couple rappers I actually want to get in touch with. Ace Cabana, who's also from Flint.
Uh-huh.
I had my manager shout his manager out. So we got some things maybe in the works later.
Cool.
Uh, Storm from North Carolina. He's from Detroit, but he moved out to North Carolina. Super talented artist. I've worked on a song with him, but I definitely want to work on more. Same with K Dog. He's a Cali artist. I shout out K Dog. I think the one I want to work with the most that I haven't worked with yet
Mm-hmm.
would be John Connor,
Oh,
who is a Flint heavyweight right now.
cool. Cool. What is it about John that you think would be like that where you two would complement each other?
Oh, the flow for sure. His flow is awesome. The subject matter, both being from Flint and knowing like ins and outs of Flint, that would definitely help for the city for sure. He's
Yeah.
conscious. His subject matter is usually conscious or something real. It's not just no party bounce music, nothing. He's always got something to say, and that's my forte all day. We would definitely come together on some grown man stuff and speak for the city.
Cool. Awesome. So, kind of getting, I don't know enough to necessarily influency, but I'm curious, like, are there other things beyond music and musical artists that have an impact on your music? Kind of thinking of like, are there any movies or books that have kind of influenced or shaped some of the things that you think about and write about?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely movies like Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society that depict like real gritty neighborhood situations. Uh, that's usually the situations that are kind of swept under the rug for the most part, but those movies do a good job at depicting like not only like poverty and crime, but also depicts how like life in these environments is really.
Yeah.
So watching those movies growing up definitely helped. Like Friday. Friday's a movie that had that, but also had the humor mixed in with it, and that's kind of
Yeah.
like where I'm at with it because you need that balance.
Right.
Uh, Other than that, yeah, really just Tupac's life, the mogul, and his life was a movie, whether he wanted it to be or not. It
Yeah,
was
that
interesting to me, kind of having that charisma to have the whole world at your heels, like wild to me.
awesome.
Just that superstar quality that he had. I aspire to do half of what he's done, and he died at 25. So I mean, I need to catch up.
That's awesome.
Like for real,
So
he
I know we,
inspires me to really go in there.
so I know we touched on it earlier, but uh, you know, are there other videos that are going to be coming out shortly?
Yes, there are. War with Myself is the next video that's going to be out.
Nice.
And that's all I know so far.
All
I have a
right.
lot schedule right now, but I'm definitely planning ahead to other future videos. But War with Myself is next on the agenda.
Excellent. And what date are you shooting for that one?
I'm gonna shoot for September.
Did you work with the same company as I'll hold
Yep,
on.
Urban Visuals is gonna be who's gonna shoot the next one too. Yep,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
you already know what he can do, so I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because that video is awesome. It's really good. I think it totally captures the essence of the tune, which I'm sure that's what you were after. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Cool. Well, Enlighten, I really appreciate you being on Fans with Bands. I've got one last question for you. And
All
that,
right, shoot.
and that is pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
People are gonna hate me for this pineapple though. I'm sorry. I love it. I love it. I love it
Awesome.
too much.
So
It goes on my pizza.
what's the favorite topping combo to go with the pineapples?
Oh man, a ham or bacon or pepperoni and ham.
Awesome. Awesome. Have you ever tried jalapenos?
Not with pineapple yet, but I would like it. I'm a spice guy all day.
Yeah, yeah. It's because the folks that I've asked that question, they're like usually like they say, yeah, I like pineapple, and then what's come up like multiple times is like, oh yeah, and I like the sweet and savory, so I do the jalapeno, and I'm like, that might actually make me want to have pineapple on my pizza if it had the peppers on
Yeah, I love jalapenos personally, so I would do it. Hey, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I
there. Awesome,
might just
man.
have to try it and let you know how that goes.
I was gonna
I
say, yeah. Got to order one of those up.
will. I'll let you know how that is, brother.
All right. Excellent. Well, thanks again, man, for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me so much. Much
Yeah.
love.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Take it
Take
easy.
it easy. Yes, sir.
Many thanks to Enlighten for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. It was so cool to be able to spend some time talking about his new album, War with Myself, and get into the stories that influence his music. You can catch Enlighten live on August 20th at the Sanctuary in Hamtramck, a super fine venue, I will say. Keep an eye out for all the latest happenings on Enlighten's website and socials. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.